You like my theme music? Courtesy of Phantom of the Beat, my girl Gina. Shout out to y'all for my theme music here on the New American Perspective. So, like I said, we've been tapping into Mayor Adams. I've been ignoring what's going on because, as a New Yorker, I'm a New Yorker now. I've been in New York since 1993. And as a New Yorker, I am so appalled at where we have gone, right? I lived all over the city, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan, Queens. The only place I haven't lived is Staten Island. And I do some work out there in Staten Island now. Shout out to the Wu-Tang, Ghostface Killer, and all the, the Stapleton and everything out there that we're doing out there. But and shout out to Congresswoman Nicole Malatakis. I really like her energy. She's a Republican Congresswoman out of Staten Island. She defends Staten Island, and I love it. And they fight for the New York that they want to see. And Staten Island may even need to be its own borough. I mean, have its own mayor because they're doing good out there. You go out there, it's not trashy all over the place. I'm walking through New York. It's trash all over the place, and I just can't stand it. Why is there trash all over the place? Then when I go to throw trash out in New York, I'm looking for a trash receptacle, and there's none on Four Corners. So at the end of the day, it's probably, the sanitation budget and, the street sweepers that we have. The street sweeper machine is pretty good, right? But it's the number of cars, it's the number of people, it's the number of things. So we should definitely focus on a Stop Littering in New York campaign. There's no reason why the greatest city in the world should be trashy and looking like 1980 New York. Okay? There's no reason why. And I hate the fact that there's a black man at the helm and the city is looking like this. Now, he inherited a lot of this stuff. Now, I don't know if he fixed anything or, he's been in political office for a long time. So for you to get up to the mayor position, Brooklyn didn't go to waste when you was the Brooklyn borough president. So now is this job as mayor a lot more tough? We had Bill de Blasio before this. And to me, Mayor de Blasio, he ran a scheme and he ran amok to get in there. I think our last few mayors, going back to Bloomberg, I think Bloomberg kind of made it a cartoon because this was something that he wanted to do. And he wanted to be mayor for 12 years. And I think that just messed up our equilibrium right there, because he wanted to be the mayor. Everybody, let's get 3 terms. I'll pay for this. No worries. I'll pay for us to go 3 more terms. And everybody voted it. And so now when we're looking for an eligible candidate for mayor, right now we got the people's mayor. And he's who I might trust, Curtis Sewa or the Guardian Angels, because he has spent his time going through New York and knowing the streets of New York and hitting the streets of New York as, an anti-vigilante. I like that. Anti-vigilante. How you like that, Curtis? An anti-vigilante where he has been looking and pushing New York in the right direction. Now, will the people understand who he is? There's some kids that are, dated and don't know the work that he did as the Guardian Angels. I remember when I got here in 93, the Guardian Angels was on the street. He was this job talking, beret wearing white man who was like, we not taking this in New York. And his love is still the same for New York. So could it be Curtis Sewa? I have another friend, Peter Guermes. I always say his name weird. But Peter Guermes, who's a restaurant owner, who's an entrepreneur, who's looking to become the mayor of New York. But I think what we need to do is define what we need in the mayor. We've got all these people popping up, right? And telling us why they should be the mayor. But what we don't have is we don't have a respectable mayor that comes before it that says, this is what you need to know and this is what you need to do to become the mayor of New York. Right now it's free for all. I could run for mayor and I would probably do good. And I would do good for the city of New York. However, what are we talking about? Right? Anybody can become the mayor of New York. Mayor Adams has a unique background, right? Because he's from Queens. You know, he kind of came up through the rankings, did the whole cop situation. Didn't work out well for him as a police officer, right? You know, there's some stuff. I think he's got a charge that's happening right now that for sexual harassment back when he was a cop. You know, so we see once they want you gone on all levels, you will be gone. Okay. Mayor Adams says, I'm not resigning. Now, I had a conversation the other day and I said, you know, I think he's going to resign before the end of his term. Now, what he didn't say was, I'm not resigning and I'm running again. Now, I heard a while back that he wasn't running for a second term, but now they're just like, come on, let's speed this up. Let's get you out of here right now. So if you're putting all of your people in jeopardy, right? If you're putting your staff and, you know, New York City in jeopardy by the things that you're doing, you might need to reconsider that. I know that you got a big ego, Mayor Adams, and I know that you feel some type of way. And I don't want to see the black man step down. But this is not working out. It's not working for us. For me, you know, we've got the 25-mile-an-hour photo enforced tickets that you're sending us. Again, New Yorkers, America, eating its people, and then expect us to keep going through the motions with the same old rhetoric. So in New York, and I've seen it in other towns too, because I was just in DC, they've got it. So I'm sure that we're the blueprint for all the big cities around the country, right? So you got your 25 miles in photo endorsed. Now, and enforced. Now, what this is basically, this is a way for the cops to not have to stop everybody. Anybody that goes over 32 miles per hour, boop, you getting a ticket in the mail. You can try to dispute it if you want. Go downtown, waste your time. But they have a whole massive operation of taking parking tickets and now paying for these photo enforced tickets, 25 miles an hour. So you can't go more than 25, 30 miles an hour in New York. It's decent. I'm chilling now. Fine. But don't nobody want to be going 32 miles per hour and then getting a $75 ticket, Mayor Adams. You know, and then basically all of this is paying for this migrant crisis that you caused. And this is where I have a problem, right? We can't make up for the different stuff. You got to find that money. You got to do that. You got two brothers. You got the David Banks, the Banks brothers in there. And it seems like a bunch of nepotism going on because it's like these people, this is the brother-in-law and the brother-in-law hired the cousin. And I think that's what the problem is. You know, once we got in there, and I'm glad that we're all working together and we're all building together. But once we got in there, you know, forget about it. Now y'all starting to move money and all that stuff. And then you didn't give somebody the right money because it's not working. And so now nobody don't, you know, want the FBI to come see them. So now everybody is jumping ship and now crime is up. He's saying that is down, but it's just a solemn time in the city, in New York City. And I want to encourage the people of New York to get together and not let this city fall apart. I've spent the last 30 years here in New York City, and I've built a dynasty in New York, right? But I've never seen it like this. So if there's trash all over the streets, let's talk about the trash that's in the projects. Does anybody care about this? How does somebody get elected, democratically elected in New York City through the projects when they don't even send a giant trash truck to get all of the mattresses, the trash that's been sitting there for years? The kids see this when they're walking to school. How can a kid properly be prepared if when they walk out of their house, they see a trash heap that doesn't move? People that don't care about it walk around it, hold their nose. What are we doing to the kids in these cities? What are we doing? And then most of our kids, most of the black and brown and kids of color are in projects in New York City. New York City, we need to flip this vote and go red. I'm sorry. Because although the Republican Party has work to do with us, it's a better mentality going forward. At least the things that they think that we should be sitting in a heap of trash. People, how is that possible? How is it not possible that you can't go get trash trucks to go clean that stuff up and then work to clean up the projects? How come when you go to a Jewish project that the Jewish projects is clean? So it's not the projects, it's not the building. I don't want to say it's the people, but it's the mentality. And we've got to clean up our mentality here in New York. And we can't go down because we're going through stuff. We've got to lift up. We've got new friends and family in New York, whether we like it or not. Okay? Migrants are here and they're here to stay until President Trump gets in office or otherwise noted. But these are our new family and friends. We have to teach them how to live here in America with us. They do not need to teach us how to live in the Dominican Republic. They do not need to teach us how to live in Mexico with their bikes, excuse me, with their bikes and everything that comes along with it. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. We do not need to do that. What we need to do is we need to go for a better New York. And that means I think that we need trash cans on at least two sides of the corner. We need extra trash workers. Where's the dough fund? Let's put some contracts into the dough fund, the Ready, Willing, and Able program in these other neighborhoods. You got the east side of Manhattan looking really good. You got Midtown looking really good. But then when we go out into the outer boroughs, when we go into Harlem, there's some streets in Harlem that are clean. There's some places that are clean. I don't want to see any trash. Trash belongs in the can. Let's clean it up, New York. I'm not playing with you anymore. Anybody, any elected official that's not focused on the trash that's spinning around is not focused on your well-being. How's the property value supposed to go up and there's trash all over? Tell me how that works. Okay? Tell me how that works. So then we got the 25 mile per hour piece. We got parking. And so now some of us have monthly parking tickets in New York City. So the depression is here. New York, we need to flip red. Okay? And let's see how that works for us. And so again, so when we come back, we're going to take a little break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about this election and what we got going forward. We know what's happening in New York, and New York could potentially flip red if we wake up. If you realize right now, the swing states are where it's at. The swing states are the ones that are going to determine who the next president is. So We need to do that here in New York. We need to be a part of that. We don't need to just be a blue state that's turning dirty and crazy and everybody resigning and we're going down the tubes and then we don't want to save ourselves for another 4 years. When we come back, we're going to talk more about that. This is Jania Butler, your host of Millennium News 24 of the New American Perspective, and we'll be back.